Hello everybody and welcome back to Juno New Origins, where we need to dock this up. I was hoping to get the contract to work correctly. Unfortunately, I've been unable to do that still. You can see here that I renamed it in the save file to try to properly connect it. Maybe the next one will work. This one doesn't. That's okay. So we need to get a little bit closer to the spaceport Esperanza. No doubt about that. Let's go ahead and lock to the target and we're not turning very quickly, which isn't surprising. Let's go ahead and do this number. There we go. And I want to be in target mode here. There we go. And I want to burn towards target here a little bit, but we don't want to get very much speed. So maybe only about 5 meters per second is probably too much, because now we need to get turned around. Okay, I want to eject this interstage at this point, so we can turn a little faster, and hopefully this won't impact. Okay, we are not in position right now. Okay. Well, that was awkward. We lost our solar panel, but it's not the end of the world. We've not actually activated these engines is the issue. Okay, so now they're active. Cool. So now we want to burn towards the spaceport Esperanza a little bit. At least we managed to not destroy it. That's something. So let's bring this out over this way, like so. There we go. And now I want to burn once again towards target. That's prograde, which is basically exactly the same. So I guess that's fine. And we're going to start lining this up. So let's hop over to the spaceport Esperanza, and I'm just going to attach it to this port. I assume that that is correct. Let's set this guy as target, and let's orient ourselves towards target. Okay, so this is going away, and that's fine. But we need to orient down over here. We overshot it a little bit. We'll get there eventually. And we don't have monoprop on right now. That's understood. Let's just do it this way, where we'll just lerp into position. Basically resetting physics there. Okay, cool. So now we want to be pointed right at target, in target mode, and I want to move towards target at a small at a small speed, a small speed. So we're just going to position this approximately like that. There we go. And let's lock to target. We're currently heading towards target. We can definitely see that, but we didn't quite make 1 meter per second there. That's fine. And losing the solar panel is fine too. I don't care about that. So let's get this habitation module docked in. And I suppose we could have put it like over here. It doesn't matter. We're just going to deposit this for now. I have no idea what port the game would have wanted us to put this on, but I don't think it actually matters. I don't think it cares. So I'm going to turn the RCS on right now. And we're going to do a little bit of steering here with our monoprop to make sure that we are exactly in position here for this docking. And status is still docking. Yeah, we bounced a little bit, it seems. The magnetic force is taking over. And status is docked. Okay. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to detach the interstage here. And this thing, it always wants to, like, I don't know. It always wants to start spinning when we first dock it up. I don't know why. It's very strange. Regardless, we'll get that under control, and we do want to actually deploy this at this point. So it's odd that we can't actually deploy it from here. Spacebar should deploy it, though, so let's do that. Yeah. And now this guy immediately is going to start spinning. We'll put it on lock heading. And hopefully it'll try to lock that heading. Now, I want to put us onto velocity retrograde here. This looks to be relatively clear, and we need to get this stage deorbiting. So let's get some distance. I'm cutting the engines here because I didn't want this to get hit by our exhaust plume, and we're just going to coast for a little bit here. Okay, let's get out of here. So we're going to deorbit this at this time. And then we need to go complete this contract. So that will be absolutely fine. I'll get that done here in just a moment, because we know that the next thing that we need to do, if we check the contract requirements here, we just completed dock to the spaceport Esperanza, and now all we need to do is deorbit our stage. So that should be absolutely fine. So we're down to about 150 kilometers in terms of our periapsis altitude. Looks good. Now down to about 100 kilometers. Now down in the atmosphere. So at this point, we're technically deorbited. That seems fine. Let's drop it to about 30 for now. And then I'm going to need to make a save here. Save and exit. And now we're going to need to go get that contract properly completed. So I will see you in just a moment while I get that save game edited. This bug is annoying, but what are you going to do? Okay, in theory, it should be completed. So it should complete as soon as we launch this. Now, this here is the one that we want to fly. This one is the actual spaceport. This we want to untrack. We want to destroy that. Okay, so we want to resume this, and the contract should just complete as soon as we load this. And it did. Beautiful. So that is absolutely wonderful. We can't recover this craft. It's going to destroy anyway. So let's just head out of there. Next up, what do we have here? Well, we've got a rescue mission and a bunch of these random missions here that I don't really care too much about. Most of these are, I mean, we could do things like a Luna landing, Silero landing, but what I really want here is a progression mission. So let's refresh our contracts and see what we've got. Okay, so this is a bunch more Spaceport Esperanza missions. We could do something like this TT landing. This is not actually giving us a proper, like, a proper lander. We'd have to make our own lander. And we don't have to return either. Tech points if crewed, though, 17. I wouldn't mind getting some tech points. What do we need for progression at this point? There's definitely going to be some new contracts that we can get. Let's go down the line here and see what we can look at. So it would be like here or maybe here. That's not more contracts. Okay. What about down this way? Okay. None of those are additional contracts. So it would have to be out in this tree then. Leaving craters, that wouldn't do it. No contract unlocks up there. This gives us new contracts. So we might want to get that unlocked. Okay. That is a thing that we can definitely do right now. And yeah, that's probably for the best. I don't really want to grab anything up in this final tier just yet. Although, there's none up here that we can actually grab. Would Mega Constellations do it? No. 9.99 max active crafts? Don't care about that. Okay. Yeah, nothing unlocking anything over there. So what we would need to do is we would need to grab space travel here. Done. So with that done, now we should go into our contracts and refresh this again. Okay, none of these are progression. This is bringing up another habitation module, but with half the payment. And this is a solar array with 50 million. That's not great, to be honest. Oh, here's a progression mission. Mountain camp supplies. Bring one payload to the mountain camp and leave them near the hangars. Okay, I think that this is a car mission. We'll accept that, and let's see what payload we have to bring in. And we'll load in our car, but I'm guessing we're going to actually want, like, an off-road car. Where's the car that we made for the last one? Did I not save that? I may not have saved it. Oh, that's exciting. Anyway, we can operate off of this. That's fine. So we would need to get a payload here. So this is a small, light box. We just put it, like, right on the end like that, perhaps? Do we get bonus tech points if this is crewed? We do. Okay, so this should be crewed, and we would need to bring a payload to the mountain camp. So this is probably going to be launching from the village, right? But I'm going to ditch these center wheels, and I'm going to ditch the wheels here and here, and we're going to switch this to off-road wheels, because I have a feeling we're going to need them. So that seems reasonably good. We're going to go for ruggedized off-road wheels. This is not where I want them to be attached, that's for sure. Okay, this is at an awkward angle. I would like them to be out over here, you know? Just, like, attached right there. 235 degrees. You know what? That'll work for now. Okay, and then we'll duplicate that and put it out over here. That's at 305 degrees. I don't think that's quite at the angle that I want it to be. Okay. So these are traveling in the same direction. Okay, we can give these guys a turning angle. This is kind of facing the wrong direction right now, but that's understood. Okay, so torque and gear ratio. Our top speed is 20 meters per second. We should have good torque here and be able to climb mountains, which is probably what we'd want to do. I'm going to save this craft as the off-road car. There we go. And let's put this out at the village runway. We can't fit there? What are we lacking for that? Where are we? We need to be in here. There we go. There's too much torque in the wheels. Okay. So we're going to need to drop the torque here. Would that do it? Yeah, that does it. Okay. Now, where is this this mountain location? 3.12 kilometers away, up that way. Okay. Now, these aren't assigned to pitch, so we should probably do that. So let's head in here and set our RPM input to be, instead of throttle, I want this to be pitch. And same here, instead of throttle, I want it to be pitch. Okay. Now, are they reversed? They might be. Oh, yeah, they're definitely reversed. Also, I'm noticing that this guy detached immediately, which isn't necessarily what we want. So let's go ahead and undo and exit here. I expected this to stay affixed until we staged it. Let's check our staging here. Yeah, it doesn't actually have a staging. Okay, so we might have to do something about that. So this should actually be inverted, and this should be not there. It should be inverted here. Okay, so if we put this back out, we know that that box is going to immediately fall off, right? Right. It immediately falls off. Okay. Just making sure that this feels okay, and it largely does. So this box needs some sort of a container, it seems. So in order to do that, what do we want to do with that? So that's going to have to be detached for now. And where would we want to put that? If we were to put it up here, like, it's just going to fall off no matter where we put it, right? If we were to put it there and we start moving, it's not affixed in any meaningful way, right? It's just going to fall off. Yeah, it's just going to fall off. So that is understood. So we need something that attaches it. You can place these packages on your craft, but they won't stick to it, so you'll have to figure out how to prevent them from falling while being able to leave them in the target location. You can identify these non-sticky parts by their white attach points. Okay, so that is definitely understood that that's going to be a thing. Okay, so we're going to need some sort of a container that we can detach. So this would be like a side interstage that would go here, right? And then a container would be like a structural panel that would go... I'd like that to just attach right over here. Apparently there's no attach point there. There is an attach point there. Okay, that's what I wanted it to do. And then we're going to want to rotate this to be not quite like that. Like that. This is too long. And we'd want to bring this back in to be something about like that. And then I'm wondering if we used like a fairing. A fairing could be interesting here. So we would have to change the size of this to be quite a lot smaller, right? And it would have to attach in like here. Or alternatively, what if we got rid of this and didn't do that, but we just simply put the fairing out here like this, get rid of this guy, right? And then shrink down the fairing a fair amount, move the base back like this, and then we would need to put in a proper fairing here. It would need to be a fairly small fairing. And then this guy would go like here. And it'll fall down, but it should be contained by the fairing. And then the nose cone would be something very small like that. The overall width... No. The overall width of this fairing doesn't need to be this big. So we can make that be a fair amount smaller. Something kind of like that. And even then, we could maybe pull it back a little bit more. So this is currently basically entirely covering it, right? So I'm wondering if we even need this fairing at all, and we just put in the fairing cap like that. So then our first stage here would be the fairing, and that would just drop it off, right? Let's test this. Let's put this out here and see if that works. It is contained by the fairing right now. And then if we jettison the fairing, that does the trick. That should do it. Okay, so let's just retry this. And all we need to do now is drive up to the mountain camp. Ideally without flipping this thing over and killing our druid. And without losing all of our battery. Which, our battery is going down reasonably quickly here, but we do have that solar panel there. And yeah, that is definitely battery-based, so that's okay. Bouncing around a lot here, and this is indicative that we have our suspension up too high. So we can definitely pull that back and get rid of that. We have most of the problems here solved, but this is way too bouncy. So we need to find where that was. Here. I'm just going to fully disable the suspension. I'm sure that this will be a very, very smooth ride for our druid. Okay, so let's just bring ourselves on over. And with that suspension disabled, it's definitely much less bouncy. Cool. Now, I'm a little concerned still about battery charge. I have a feeling that we may need to expand out our battery a little bit. But for now, let's just see if we can make our way on up over this way. Looks decent. As far as getting to that mountain camp, that'll be interesting. And the sun is not up very high right now, so our solar panel is not very effective. Okay, I'm wondering if we have enough torque to traverse this area. I guess we'll find out. Well, that seems like a yes. Indeed. That definitely seems like a yes. Now, how do we get over onto that section of mountain? That'll be an interesting question. So we're going to need to rise on up over here. We're gaining altitude, and I think the way over is... Yeah, this is very clearly the way over. So that seems fine. We can avoid the ravine by driving around it nicely. Cool. And we can start... I don't know that we can make it up that. We may have to go up over here. I think this is the best bet. So we would just come off over this direction, not going too fast to run into major issues, ideally. Glad we went with the off-road wheels, that's for sure. And the high torque. Okay. I'm wondering if we can make it over the ridge here, but this is clearly designed that we're supposed to go around this way. It's very obvious. Cool. We're making pretty good time, too. We're sticking pretty close to 18, 19 meters per second. That's not bad. Moving pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to need to continue to gain altitude up this way, right? This is interesting. We're going to gain possibly too much speed down this section here, but I want to head out over this way. We are not putting in any acceleration right now. Ooh. Well, that's unfortunate. So much for our Druid. I might try that again. We're upside down right now. We could still finish this, but our Druid would be dead. Like I said, I might try this one again. The path seems to work, but that rollover was rough. We are, of course, upside down right now, so controls are reversed. Ooh, right. Controls are reversed. That's my fault. Okay, so let's make our way up over here. Yeah, this is definitely the path to go. We just don't want to have that rollover. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that one again, and let's make sure that the Druid survives this time. That would be ideal. So we just need to head out over here, and we basically know the path that we're going to take, so it all sounds good. It is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, I think. And by the time we come back next episode, we'll be basically where we were before, but with this Druid still alive. That'll be fantastic. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy Magar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.